So whenever I just walk across town, right, and I record some Wi-Fi networks, and I record, my camera app. I record my screen, right, and I pull up my camera a couple times, and I capture, absolutely, without a doubt, at least two different people that are doing very questionable behavior, right? Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just gang stalking me. They're surveilling me, right? But they don't want to be caught, and they can't risk getting captured on video gang stalking me, because then I'd have proof or evidence of that, right? And I even specifically got saw the people doing it, and I know who was doing it. So when I get that evidence, I actually know three different people. Now I think about it, it was a video that was probably a good 15 minutes long. I was walking across town, and then as soon as I end the video, right, I get a message like this. This is the message that comes up, right? I end the video, done with the video, right? Then this pops up and says, screen recording failed. To save due to photos failure. That's what it says. That's all it says. I mean, coincidence? Yeah, come on now, right? So, here's one on my walk. This is on my walk on my way to where I was going. I was trying to sign into Xfinity. So when I left there, I started the recording started off with the same thing. Showing the Wi-Fi networks and talking about how they were spoofing it, right? So, then I turned it onto the camera, like this. Let me show you here. All right, see, this is my computer, right? My fancy computer. And this is actually a command prompt pulled up with a task list, right? I ran a task list to try to see what the hell my computer's doing, because my computer's doing the same weird shit my phone's doing, right? I do a screen recording of my computer screen, and it fails. It just fails. I actually did a screen grab of it. This is what it looked like. It says error, unsupported video type or invalid file path. Now, any other time, here, I'll show you, okay? Here's where my screen recordings go to. They automatically go there, automatically. Here's two of them that I recorded today that had no problem showing up. So that other one, when it said that it was an unsupported video type or invalid file path, I manually saved it, and this is it. It's a very large one. Look, it's 6.97 gigabytes. But the whole point of my video is I just wanted to show that message that I got. I've never received a message like that before. It said the screen recording failed to save due to photos failure. Okay, well, what was the failure? So let's take a look at analytic data. I haven't looked at this yet. Okay, now let's here, I pulled it up and got it ready. So here it is. Now let's look at the analytic data, right? And if we do a search, we're going to do a search for, whoops. Well, yeah, my bad. My phone's sideways, so this is hard to do sideways. So anyway, 2024 dash, you start with the year. Then you do a little dash sign here. Then you do the month. Right now I get notifications pop up when I try to do this. Let's see, 12 dash 30. Okay. Well, look at that. I didn't even type the 0 in yet, but I know that's it. That's going to be the error, right? It's going to show what happened, right? With it says media playback. So let's see the time of it. Oh, look at that, 10:27 a.m. What do you know? That's exactly whenever that error occurred. Okay, so this is the analytic data for the error on why my screen record refused to save to my Photos app. And it just happened to be a recording that captured like 3 different people following me around, right? And surveilling me. Or harassing me. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever they're doing. I don't know. You know? But I absolutely caught... like if you were able to watch the video, you could see what I'm talking about. How their behavior doesn't make any sense at all. Right? And I'm just pointing things out. You can call me crazy all you want. But when these people in town, you know, do this shit. And I didn't name any names, but I know who they are. And, you know, I will expose them if they continue to do this. It's what you're doing is sick. I don't care who told you to do it or what makes you think that you're able to do it or it's right or it's legal. It's not. You're wrong. Whoever told you to do it's a piece of shit. And listen, if you can't stop because you're addicted to it or whatever the case, they have, you know, outlets where you can get help. You can talk to somebody about this because it's not healthy for your personal growth and for your own mental stability, you know, to stalk and harass somebody. You need to focus on your own life, right? Because for whatever reason you're doing it, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care. But I care about my life, right? And when people are stalking and harassing me and they can't mind their own fucking business and they feel the need to go out of their way just to drive around and sit in weird places just to be able to capture me and find out, you know, where I'm going and report where I'm going, what I'm doing, whatever, you're wrong. What you're doing is sick in the head and you need help, okay? If you want, I will help you. I will look for the resources for you to get some help, to go talk to somebody. You know, if you can't stop, if you don't have the willpower to stop doing the wrong thing, to stop doing what you're doing because it's not... Listen, if you are ashamed to admit what you're doing, then it's wrong and you shouldn't be doing it, okay? So just ask yourself that question. Would I be ashamed if everybody knew that I was doing this? Okay? Ask yourself that question, because if you continue doing it, everybody's going to know what you're doing, because I'm going to tell them and I'm going to show them. Okay? You can only suppress me so much. You can only delete or cause errors on my device so often. But every time what you do is you give me stuff to delve further into it. You give me more evidence to show people. Okay? This isn't normal. This isn't just something that happens to everybody. Okay? This is you guys finding ways to suppress the truth, right? And that's my speculation, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm it's one of them things where I have this curse of, you know, being right all the time. This is one of them things where I know I'm fucking right and I know you're wrong. And if that wasn't the case, then you would smear it in my face. You would fucking blow it out of proportion, and you would highlight it and share it with every social media that you could. See, Targeted Patton's wrong. Targeted Patton's wrong. He's a liar. He's crazy. And he's blaming people. He's unjustifiably blaming people for stuff. That's defamation of character. And you know what I mean? That's what you do, because you're not creative. You can't think of anything else. So you just blame me for the stuff you're doing to me. Stop it. It's not healthy. Nothing good can come out of it. Nothing at all. I promise you. I mean, unless you were promised something monetarily, you know, and you think that's good, then I guess you could say that something good could come out of it, like a new car, maybe. You know, because a lot of these fucking weirdo perp gang stalking motherfuckers are driving brand new cars. And I know that they can't afford a brand new car. Like, come on. The fact that all of them, that's a pattern that I pointed out in that last video that wouldn't save. It would not save. Yeah, that's one of the patterns that I pointed out that I was able to see, highlight, you know, that in 2020, whenever this shit went overt and these people started doing it in my face, right? Because they knew that I was onto them. I caught them deleting videos off my fucking security camera. And the videos they were deleting were just very particular videos that I discovered the pattern early on. And it would only get deleted when certain vehicles would drive past, okay? And so when I discovered that, then they went into damage control mode, right? Went on the defense. And then they started trying to smear my name, discredit me. And that's when I discovered the fucking holes in my walls, pinhole cameras that they're using. And I reported it to the police, right? fucking reported it to the police. Of course, they didn't do anything about it, but he must have went and asking questions, because later that day I started getting confronted. I got confronted by the maintenance guy. He was mad because he said, "Oh, you blaming me for putting cameras in your wall?" That happened, okay? That would have been July 2021 is when that happened. That's when I reported it to the police, okay? June 24th, to be exact. 24th or 27th. Yeah, I think it was June 24th, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was a Thursday. And either way, I have the recording somewhere from when they illegally evicted me from my apartment. And that's when I showed the police officer the holes in the wall. So, Officer Dillhole, who's no longer an officer in Patton, and I believe he's fired from Northern Cambria too. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I don't lie. I don't make stuff up. I'm not lying about this stuff. So when they go around and you get generally pathetic, specific, he brings up that out of all the stuff that I've put on my channel that I've exposed, right? And he calls me a Fruit Loop and says that I'm just a whack job and a subversive, right? For asking questions. He brings up that. Now, how they would even know, like my brother and Jimmy Grabowski and these fucking perps in Patton, 2 years after my departure from the terrace apartments, 2 years later, that's when they started spreading the lie that I had pinhole cameras on my neighbor, and I was spying on my neighbor with pinhole cameras. They made up that lie 2 years later, 2 fucking years later. So they can't show you a lick of anything that even supports what they're saying at all. Nothing at all. Just them saying it. That's all. So I told, generally pathetic that. And then the panel, I was in the chat. He's on, Lick the Whole Boots panel. And I just asked the right questions. And I said about JJ helping Chris Ruff out on his warrant, right? And I saw a picture where Ruff admitted to it. And I put it on my community wall. They all attacked that. They said, "Oh, it was sarcasm. It was sarcasm." That's a weird fucking sarcasm. I don't understand how that's sarcasm. It's very specific. It's a very specific fucking communication from Chris. He's like, "He only helped me with one warrant." Like, how is that sarcasm? I'm just saying. Maybe it was, but I'm just showing what I saw, and when it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck, all that fucking, all that jazz, it's usually a duck. Quack, quack, motherfuckers. So, GS, he brings up that, and he's like, "Oh, there's a story with hidden cameras and that you're spying on your neighbors with hidden cameras. Is there any truth to that?" So then I told him, I said, "Yeah, that's what they said. They blame me for what they were doing to me. That's what they do." Then they dropped it. They didn't even highlight my response, nothing. And they've done this several times. So I'm convinced that these people, they don't want the truth. They're trying to spin the truth. They're trying to spin the narrative in order to make certain people look bad and destroy the credibility of people like Chris Ryder and the Angry Vet, Kevin, and myself, right? And it's funny because they try to act like they're unbiased, like with me. Lick the Whole Boot has said, "Oh, he doesn't have anything against me, and he's willing to look into stuff if I want to show him stuff." Dude, who are you trying to kid? I have evidence showing that you were sharing defamatory information about me a couple months ago. I don't put everything out that I hear, but I have the evidence. I have a fucking communication from somebody showing me what you shared, Lick the Whole Boot, from my perp brother. Do you want to explain that, Lick the Whole Boot? You want to explain how you were obviously, completely aware of me and you were told a lie and you were spreading the lies about me without ever communicating with me at all, without ever talking to me? I come on your panel and you act like you don't know me at all. You act like you don't know anything, but then you highlight what? You say that I have custody problems. You see how they do this? They twist the truth. Let's just point out that I've had custody. I was awarded custody of both my kids 2 different times, and I've had sole custody of my children their entire lives as a single father. So what, do you want to mention that? I bet you won't mention that, right? I bet you want to. So it's not as it appears. It's never how it appears with these people, right? They twist the truth and they manipulate people. And I'm sorry, when somebody manipulates me or twists the truth and tries to get me to believe something that's not the truth, I'm pissed at that person. You can go fuck yourself. What is your intention? Why are you doing that? That is fucking. You need help, right? And I question why you do it. Why are these people doing that? Why are they all doing that? It can't be for fun. They're risking getting exposed. And it's not fun. Like it's evil, but I don't think that these people are evil. I think that they're doing it for some other reason. I don't have the hidden variable. They would have to state their intentions. I don't know their intentions. Now we can look at patterns of behavior, right? We can look at the patterns of behavior and we can come up with our own, opinion of what their intentions are. And I think if anybody saw what I saw, they see things from my perspective, even briefly, it's very, very quickly they would come to the same conclusion as me. And I suspect, and I'm going to make the speculation that these people are all getting paid. That they're all affiliated with the government for some way, shape, or form. They probably all signed non-disclosure agreements, so they can't talk about it, and they can't really get out of it because they have dirt on them now. Now they're holding it over their heads, so they can't get out of it. They've done wrong, and they know they've done wrong, and they can't get out of it because in order to do so, they would have to hold themselves accountable. They would have to admit what they did was wrong, and then take accountability for their own actions, right? And then they can't go around telling everybody else they need to take accountability and trying to judge everybody else like they do. Because they themselves will be, bigger pieces of shit than anybody they try to fucking criticize. Let's just make that very clear here. So I have nothing against these people. I have questions. I ask the questions. They don't get answered. I get called a subversive. I get called crazy. I get called a piece of shit and a liar, right? Okay. I still have the same questions though. You can call me whatever you want. I still got the same questions. They don't get answered. So I ask the same questions, only louder. And I still can't get an answer to these very simple questions. I hope everybody else sees what I see. I hope, because if I can help a couple people to avoid being manipulated by these fucks, then my job is done. And I will have done my part, to be part of the solution instead of being like them, being part of the problem, right? So you're not God. You don't get to dictate what goes on and then forget about it like it never fucking happened. Yeah, it's the internet, but it's people's lives. And you're fucking with people's lives. Just because it's the internet is no fucking excuse to be anonymous and get away with this behavior. You wouldn't do it in public. Why are you doing it on the internet? Knock it off. Be good or be good at it.
Stop.
The mustache.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I want to be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep on this evening. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. And when they try to change, you can say no, free me.
You fucking bitch.